My name's Paul. I've got autism and I was diagnosed with autism age 34. And up until that point, I didn't have a clue that I had it. I always knew there was something different, but I wasn't sure what it was. Um, and to be honest, it's many years later and I still don't. But I've decided to make some videos anyway. I decided to make some videos originally because what I wanted to achieve was I didn't want anyone else having to go through and feel the way I felt. Like all the things that I've been through, all the jobs I've lost, the friends I've lost, the fights I've had, the struggles, the stress, the anxiety, all those things. I just didn't want other people to have to go through it or feel like that if it could be avoided. But then life got in the way. I never got a chance to make any videos, and now all that's changed. So here I am. I'm not here for, putting myself on every single piece of social media and having a following and getting my face on a cup, and selling up merchandise like that. I haven't got that intention, unless you want me face on a cup, all power to you. I'll sort it out. But this for me is also going to be different because I don't share my feelings. I don't share my thoughts. I'm a very insular, reclusive loner. That is who I am. I'm not someone who puts myself out there. And a few things have been happening, and in work, things have happened where I've realized there's a big difference, like a divide starting to appear from people like me and other people who might have autism or other impairments or whatever it might be, who want to be known for it. And I've noticed that the squeaky wheel gets the attention. So people who are very, I am autistic, look at me. They do get the attention because neurotypical people, especially bosses, directors, they're like, we want to be inclusive. And they start to use these people as sort of figureheads for companies, and people like me start to suffer because I don't want to be known as the autistic guy. And I just want to get on with it. I want to be in the background. I just want to get on with it, but I do need reasonable adjustments in a workplace. And it doesn't really happen because I've got other people. And I'll share the story that sort of triggered this off on one of these whatever these things are called. I don't know what they are. I'm not a content creator, clearly. I've got a DSLR camera, which I've got because I like photography, because it can be a loner's hobby. I've got microphones. I've got a couple of decent Shure SM7B microphones because I like to have a sing song. You'll see guitars behind me if you're watching a video of this and not just listening to it. I like to have a sing song. It's a good, again, loner's hobby. I haven't got songs on Spotify, so don't be trying to make me the next Michael Jackson or anything. But um, I want to stop people feeling how I felt and still feel on occasion. So when I've watched videos, because I turned to YouTube to see what autism was, what autism meant, because up until I was diagnosed with it, it was just a word. Like Rain Man, the film Rain Man, it was just a bit like that. And it's like, all right, okay, whatever. I didn't know there was a spectrum. I didn't know, it could affect people where they might need 24-hour a day care and, might be non-verbal, all the way to people like me who are the so-called high functioning persons with autism. And I knew nothing. And to be honest, I really don't know much because I'm a very pragmatic person. Sitting me down and saying, you're, these letters and this number, what that means is it was discovered in 1986 by Robert Newman, that blah, blah. None of that means anything to me. All I care about is if I need to leave the house to go and buy some bread, how can I go and get the bread, get home with not being stressed about it? What do I need to do? Just tell me what I need to do. So I'm a very pragmatic, black and white, logical thinker. Not interested in the education behind it. But I've made the mistakes. I've lost the jobs, I've lost the friends, I've had the fights, I've been in the situations that potentially could have been different if I'd have known about autism and and maybe knew I had it, and I'll share the normal stories as well. I'll tell you why I had to be diagnosed. This wasn't a case of I wanted to be. I had to be diagnosed because the situation I was in was time sensitive and job sensitive, and I had to do something because my boss wasn't listening to me and it was horrible. But I'll share that on the next one. I'll tell you about going down the diagnosis route because if you're like me, I hit a lot of stereotypical markers for being a bloke. I'm just, I keep my feelings to myself. I'm a reclusive loner. I don't open up. And this is why I want it to change. I want to open up to you, whoever you may be, um, just to try and make it a bit easier if you ever have to do what I had to do. And I had to open up to start this process off. And, the very first sign of a hurdle, you just think, well, what's the point? And, I've tried finally and no one's bothered because you soon realize no one cares about you as much as you do. To a lot of doctors, you're just a job, and they haven't got a genuine care. It's, I've got 9 minutes to get you in and out of this door, and what you're talking about requires longer. I'll fob you off with something lesser. That's what happened to me anyway, but I'll tell you all about that. I want to share what the mask is because I have this. I wrap everything up about autism, about wearing masks. The second I leave my house or my room where I can actually be myself, the second I have to be around another person, a neurotypical person, I have to go and blend in public. I have to put this mask on to do that. And people say, you should be yourself. And the second I'm myself, I get told I'm weird. So it's like, well, make your mind up, So I have to wear a mask. And even if people know you have autism, you still have to wear a mask. You can't just be yourself because, being autistic, it's just a word, and everybody's autism is different, but it's a very strange setup. So I want to try and give you real life stories of things I've been through, things I've ended up in, things that might have triggered me, things that have caused massive amounts of stress that aren't important, really. And then even just to do some of these where I'm just trying to make sense of things. Like I looked on Instagram this morning, and Peter, the animal, welfare um, organization, whatever they are, they put a picture up about speciesism, saying don't use words like chicken and rat. Don't use the word chicken for calling someone a coward. Don't use rat for someone who's a snitch because that's speciesism. You're giving these animals a bad name or whatever, and it's like, who thinks of this? I don't call someone a chicken and then go to the shops and think I'm not going to buy a chicken because that might taste of a coward. I just think, that's people sat in places trying to justify the pay scale. But, there is a lot of that, in 2021. Black Lives Matter is being nominated, or maybe it's just a meme, I don't know, but it said it was being nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize. And it was like, how? Every time I turn the TV on, like when you see what was happening in America, 50 cities were burnt to the ground, police officers were killed. It was, I don't know. I don't know how that's peaceful, but we live in a world where nothing makes sense to me anyway. And now it really doesn't make sense. And I just want to try and, I think if I speak what's in my head, it might make a bit more sense, at least to me, and I think it'll just be a journey together, to be honest. And I'll give details out to contact me if you want me to do a video on anything, or if I've not been descriptive enough, or you want me to go through something of a bit more in depth, then by all means get in touch and I'll do it. I think my email address is oldandautistic@gmail.com because I'm getting older. So that name will grow into it every day. And I'll always be autistic. So it's a pretty handy Gmail account. All right. And I know people say, why with Gmail? But, it's easy to link YouTube to, isn't it? So, yeah, I'm not here to, try and become the world's leader of autism videos or anything like that because I'm not a content creator. But I do want to stop people or reduce the issues that I had to go through when I didn't know I had autism. Because one of the things a doctor said to me is, "Why wasn't this diagnosed in school?" Like, wow, you've no idea the type of school I went to, So it's a different world now because you can open your front door, throw a stone, and you will hit someone who has autism, is related to someone with autism, or someone they know has autism. But back when I was a kid, there was a girl in my class with Down syndrome, and she had a teaching assistant with her. So it didn't matter who you were, you all just ended up in the same class anyway. So there could have been people with autism because obviously I was there. It just, it's a different world now, is what I'm trying to get at. And I'm trying to make sense of it. So if anyone ever is older, and a bit like me, then great. I can hopefully steer you down that, you know, path of knowing when to press pause a bit quicker, or knowing when to say no a bit quicker, or knowing when to step back from a situation. Then that's what I want to do. I want to try and help that. I want to try and prevent other people becoming me, because I'm older now and I'm broken because of all the situations I've ended up in, and not knowing how to deal with them properly. Or I thought I was dealing with it properly, but I was going down the non-emotional, logical route. Other people were emotive, and like, if someone speaks to you and goes, "Oh, me and my girlfriend argue all the time and it's causing nothing but stress, and oh, she said she doesn't love me anymore." All I hear is, or all that says in my head is, leave then, split up. What? Why? If all you do is argue and you're feeling crap about it and they're feeling crap about it, then just end it. I don't know what the problem is. And then when I say it, like, "Well, mate, it doesn't sound like you're doing very well. Why don't you just knock it on the head? Draw a line under it." I always get the same answer, and it's like, "Oh, if only it was that easy." And it's like, well, it is. All you got to do is have a chat and say, "We're not doing well. How about we knock it on the head? Maybe we can, maybe the separation will do us good." I don't know, but I just think it's a lot easier than sticking in a. I have a problem with situations that are fixable and people moan about them. So, but anyway, I'm already doing it. I've got this autistic issue where all I do is waffle nonsense and go off on tangents and never get to the point of what I'm trying to talk about. It's a curse. Um, and plus, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't even know if the camera's in focus. I don't know if I remember to press record on the microphone. I don't even know if you can see me. I probably left the lens cap on or something, So, and it's weird sitting in a room by yourself, talking to yourself into a camera, you know? And I never realized that, when you watch TV and people are staring at you through the lens and you're watching them and you're not bothered, it must be well weird for the person on the other end of it. But we'll see where we get. All right. So the first real one, this was just me introducing myself. I think I did that somewhere. Is to talk about why I had to be diagnosed, because that was different. All right. A very different route. And I'll slowly start to build, and by all means get in touch. I'd like you to get in touch. I'm not interested in negativity in relation to just slagging me off for no reason. Email me, offer me constructive criticism if you want. Don't put it on a public platform just to flame me. These videos on YouTube, how to successfully bully people. Go and talk to them and tell them they're idiots. I want to help that one person who needs help. If I remind them of them, if I remind them of the brother, the sister, the kids, whatever, because that's the common theme on the comments on YouTube. It's, I'm here for my son, I'm here for my brother, I'm here to try and understand people I know a bit better who have autism. That's what I want this to be. I don't want it to be anything else. So by all means, send me a request to do a video on, I don't know, how do you feel about sprouts? I'll do a video on sprouts. It'll be a short video because I don't like sprouts. But my point is, just get in touch and ask if you're curious about the way my head works, if I remind you of someone, Anyway, I realize I'm talking too much. I'm talking to myself and it's weird. So I'm going to stop this and go and get something to drink. And I might do the first one while I'm not really doing much else. All right. So thanks for watching. I do appreciate it. And until the first one, people, I will see you then. So keep smiling.